Hello, my Teaserking family. I miss seeing most of you on my videos July 4th and yesterday. Not a lot of live watchers, but that's okay. July 4th, I knew everybody would be busy. And yesterday was a weird time. So I'm getting into weird times. So because of the holiday, as I said, I worked till I didn't work Tuesday, so I worked a later Friday to get my hours in. I'm in a situation I'm in contracts. I don't get paid for the holidays, so I worked an 8-hour shift instead of the 4-hour shift Friday. And the pool is closing at 8 because they don't have enough lifeguards because nobody wants to make money anymore. So I ended up finishing work about 4, ran to the pool, and then that's why I did the show at like 6:30 or something. But that's okay. That's why I do. It's live, but you can still watch it later. I like to chat as long as it's not offensive. And, I block a few people, but that's not the intent. Fuck, I thought this was a big spider on my screen. And I'm like, oh no. Anyway, so everything's going well. Work's going well. Gold and silver's waiting for us. People read it wrong because they're going, why is the gold price going up? And what they really don't tell you about is demand. The demand's through the roof with the central banks. And as I showed you yesterday, you had that Fed person on, Andrew Maguire, and he would ask her questions that she couldn't answer. So happy birthday. I said it 3 days earlier. I thought it was the 4th. So yes, I did send you that. But since I don't get any pictures or calls, I don't know who this is. So unfortunately, wish it was you, but I've never seen anybody who's a prisoner or who can't send a picture. So enough of that. Anyway, so she can't answer questions. So the Fed lady's like, well, like de-dollarization. Well, we'll see what happens. And gold, well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, we definitely need COMEX to go away. No insight at all. No, nothing that helps you. And therefore it's ridiculous. What is she doing on the show? I don't sit there and say, well, I think this will happen, and it would be nice if gold went to 10,000. I explain what the fuck's going on so you understand it's COMEX price fixing it, just like I do the football games, right? We go through the football games, and we'll go through college in a little bit, and I explain what should happen based on this scenario. This is why you can't use graphs as they like to do in Austrian economics, but you'll see these Mike Maloney's. Look at this chart in 2008. It did this. That's totally meaningless. What happened? The variables in 2008 and the variables today are not the same. I guarantee you'll never find anything that the variables have stayed the same from 2008 to today in anything, football, baseball, gold, anything you want to go to, you will never see the variables remain the same. So therefore, to use a chart and say, look at 2008, look what happened in the 70s, look when we went off of gold, look what happened. That's all meaningless bullshit. There's nothing you can derive on it because there's 1,000 variables and you don't know. For example, to say you could guess this is a nectarine. It's been $4.99 a pound. I've said, fuck it. I'm not paying $4.99 a pound. Then I see it for $2.99 a pound. I says, I'm not buying it. You know how much this was? 99 cents. I bought 10 of them. That's how you shop. You wait for the sale and buy it. But why would I pay $4.99? Now, the question that they will try to sell you, which I ain't buying, is the $4.99 was inflation, but the 99 cents is deflation. And my argument is the market determines everything, right? If the market agrees to 99 cents, we probably agree to $1.99. $2.99, you're too expensive. Is that deflation if they lowered the price to 99? No, it's the market saying it's too expensive, but when you did lower to 99 cents, I happily wanted it. So that's the whole point. So when they talk about inflation, deflation, the inflation is the money. You're inflating the money. You're making too much of it. The more you make, the less it's worth, as I tell you. Okay. That is the point, right? That's inflation. And that's it. Now, the prices should go up because it takes more dollars to buy it. That's why we're sitting there in shock with gold, which doesn't make sense. Why isn't gold going up? And then they say, well, the dollar's worth more against the euro. Well, because they're inflating too doesn't make the dollar stronger. And who cares if it's stronger against the euro? It's too shit. It's like the Tigers in Kansas City. Well, the Tigers are better than Kansas. Well, they still the worst team in the league. They lost to Toronto. I'm listening to the radio yesterday, and the announcer's like, the kid on the radio station, he said, oh, this is the worst pitcher. He doesn't look good, and he's terrible. And if the Tigers don't win tonight, they'll never win again. And they ought to hit this guy. And I look, and the final score is 12-2 Toronto. And I just and see, that's the point. He doesn't know how to evaluate that the Tigers suck. They have no hitting. So it doesn't matter. They could put out there a kid from Little League. I could pitch. They couldn't hit me because they can't hit. They stink. So the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. So I quickly know if he says something, I want to bet the other way. He's terrible at football. This team stinks. This team's good. And he's clueless. He doesn't have the method of choosing. He doesn't understand that. So when we talk about Adam Smith, why is he so good is because of Adam Smith looks at human behavior. So he was a human behaviorist / economist. That's Austrian economics in a nutshell, is our behavior. You lower this price to 99, I buy it. You lower this price to 99, my avocado, and I buy it. Now I'll pay more for the avocado. It's very healthy. So there's a little bit more put into it. But if we went to $10, I wouldn't buy it. But at 99 cents, $1.49, I go to my meat store and they have them for $2.50 a piece. I go to the other store, the Meijer's, they're 99 cents, $1.29. I go buy 10 of them because what the expensive store doesn't get is their avocados. So they're banking that you're too lazy to drive to another store to get it to save on the price. And occasionally when I go in for steaks or I go in for hamburger or chicken or ribs, I might buy a broccoli when it's on sale, just because I'm there and I need broccoli. And I eat broccoli in my omelets and I eat it in my salads. Pardon me, my coffee's ready. I'll be back in 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.5. See, I'm back in 10 seconds. Well, I put the big pot of hot water on, and then I put it, and I make ginger tea with it, which I basically put it in I take the hot water into another pot where I got the little gingers peeled. And so I have ginger tea, and I have 1 cup of coffee to start the day, to wake up. As they say in Europe, bon appetit. So Adam Smith realizes people have behaviors. And Say realizes that we go produce, I go work at Harley, then I consume. Then I buy the nectarines and this. I don't need help. Just leave free market alone and it'll be fine. And this is what blows my mind right now is nobody understands this concept. Nobody wants to understand Austrian economics. They want it to be government-led, so they spew government bullshit. Do they believe in Keynes? I don't know. He's gotten everybody into a lot of trouble with this money printing. We don't need gold and let's print money. The Chinese are in trouble. Their currency is going down, and they want to use it for oil, and they want to use it, with Saudi Arabia and everything. I did like the Federal Reserve lady. She's kind of going, I'll believe it when I see it. In other words, we all thought the Saudi Arabia and, nothing happened. All the trade's still in U.S. dollars. And I'm like, they're all getting out of it. But that's not a good quote. So she's she's actually a liberal, a Keynesian, trying to pretend she's an Austrian. So she's like, but what she says is not Austrian. In other words, the Saudis are off the petrodollar. Well, she's ignoring that. Also, these countries have U.S. dollars, so they're getting rid of them. So it takes time. It's the Titanic, hit the iceberg. It takes time for it to sink. It doesn't just hit and sink, right? It takes, 6-7 hours? Well, it's the same thing. People are now, the petrodollar is gone, but they still have U.S. dollars, so they're going to print it. They're just not going to get new ones. They would go into their own currency, but nobody trusts their currency. Nobody trusts the yuan and nobody trusts the ruble and nobody trusts the U.S. dollar. So it's going to gold. So we need to relax about the gold price. It's all derivatives, which we know. How do we end this derivative battle? That's the question. What Andrew Maguire says is, now that with this Basel IV that just came out, comes out in July, if these derivative guys want to do the derivative and sell 1 million ounces of gold for $5, they need to actually have the physical. The buyer then gets the physical. Well, they don't have 1 million ounces. And so the whole point was back in 72, when we went off the gold standard, all the other countries agreed because we were on the gold standard. When we got off of it, nobody wanted it. So they lowered the price of gold to $35 an ounce so people wouldn't want their gold. I should say countries. So countries didn't want their gold, and that's what COMEX. So it diluted the price to keep it low. When this isn't, that's bullshit. You should be fair with it. Anyway, so with that said, don't be discouraged at the gold price. Again, you've got to ignore COMEX. We know the dollar, our good friend, is going to zero. We know this. We know this is because that's what happens when you print money. And they got to print Social Security and they got to print welfare and Medicare, which is billions and trillions of dollars. So they got to keep printing it, right? So therefore, how are you going to kill inflation when it's the dollar, not the prices? So is this inflation when it was, let's say, $4.99 a pound for nectarines? Was that inflation? Maybe. Or we're going to try to sell it at $4.99, but the market doesn't want it at $4.99. The market says no. That's the market talking. So we tried raising prices. The market said no. Then we lowered it to 99 cents because we can't sell it. And the market says thank you. And we bought it all at 99 cents because that's the market price of it. Same thing with blueberries. I'll see them at like $1.50 or $1.99. I buy 5 or 6 of them. It's good for me to eat. I can eat berries. This I don't think is too sweet, but I got to stay away. I know I had some cherries. That was a treat, but cherries, watermelon, you got to be very careful. And again, it depends what stage in the diet you are. If your blood pressure is 180, you can't eat it at all. But mine's down to 125, 130. I'm okay as long as it's okay. But today I'm going to eat avocados and Chinese food. So that's I'm not going to eat a lot and I'm going to go swim. So that's really the point of it. It depends on the level. And I don't like how these guys come out and try to scare you with deflation. Okay. So the price went down to 99 cents. Is that deflation? What is deflation? Okay, they're trying to sell it to you as the economy going down and prices going down. Is that wrong? Is that bad? I don't know. This used to be what? This used to be free. Then it was $400 or $500, and now I get it for $100. Is that bad? No. My computer I'm on it cost me $300. First came out, it was $2,000. I remember I bought the first Ultra Comp in the 80s, and I think I paid $1,000 for it. It was a desktop. Took me a while even to get a laptop. This laptop was $300. Is that deflation? Is that bad? No, because I benefit. I get a computer for $200-$300. And this company, Asus, who I've never heard of, gets to make some sales. So once they mass produce them, the price goes way down, right? Cost per unit. So there's nothing wrong with prices going down. It benefits the consumers, right? We're out producing our goods, and then we consume. And if it's less to consume, that's great. Now, if it's less to consume, but our dollar's worth, the dollar's worth less, meaning that it takes more dollars to buy most stuff. So if we get a price cut, that's great. Now, what they're trying to sell you is this bullshit. Well, your house will go down in value. Your house goes down in value anyway. The house is at the market. Let's say this is a house. So this was, $499 when I bought it. Now it's $99. Oh, I could have bought it for $99. I mean, so let's say you spent $350 for your house, and now it's worth $250. Okay, that's the market. But I paid $350 for it, so to me it's worth $350, and I don't have to sell it. I have a place to live. I'm not buying the house to make money. I'm buying the house to live in. So therefore, it doesn't matter what the price supposedly is. Then my property taxes should go down if it's only worth $250 as opposed to $350 or whatever. So there should be benefits, but the economy's slowing down. Is that deflation? Is the economy slowing down? Why? We're still working. We're still consuming. I'm still buying nectarines, coffee, and cell phones. If the economy was too high, it's got to come back down. Like the Tesla stock is way overvalued, probably a $20, $30 stock. So it's at 270. So once people realize it's too high, and it goes down to 220, is that deflation? No, that's the market determining the price of the stock, realizing it's too much because it's all IFCOM that he'll sell 1 billion units, which he'll never do. And the funny part is where he's selling them, he's not selling them in the US or Europe. His sales are in China. And then that makes you think, are the Chinese government buying them? Are the people buying them? Do they have money to buy them? They're lowered to now $20,000, which I read yesterday that he's doing it to get competition out. He wants a monopoly. He's no better than JP Morgan. He tries to come across like he's Mr. America. This motherfucker is the same as JP Morgan. I don't want I'm lowering my price to get rid of competition, and it's working on Ford and GM. They're fucked. Toyota doesn't want anything to do with electric, so he can have the electric market, but you know what? There is no market. So he put out a video that in 5 years there won't be gas-powered cars. So I'm looking at the video, and then it's like Tesla, and I'm thinking, what an asshole! Who comes out with that? Because you're thinking, what do you mean there won't be cars? I am not getting rid of my gas-powered cars, and the gas stations aren't going anywhere. They might add the electric things, but I'll tell you, it's impossible if they add all the electric things to the gas station. It would be too much. There's not enough power if everybody went to charge their car at the same time, it would never work. And who knows what the cost is going to be and how long is your battery going to be. If it's like a cell phone, at first it charges for a long time. It holds the charge, but after 6 months, in 2 hours, the charge is gone. Well, that's what's going to happen with the cars, and people aren't going to want that. Why do you want that when you can have a car that goes, you fill it up at a gas station on every corner, That's relatively reasonable price, and you drive it for 400 miles, and it says you're almost empty, and then you go to another gas station and fill it up. And if you drive a 5-6 hour drive, if I go up north in Michigan, I fill up my car at my house, and I can drive all the way up there and no problem. And then when I'm up there, I can fill it up to come back. And I don't even need to do that. I can probably go there and back on my gas tank. I don't have to worry about my car catching on fire or the battery going. What happens if the battery goes on the middle of the road, on the middle of a highway that is nothing but forest? And there's about an hour stretch up north where you're on a highway and you got 30, 40 miles till you got a gas station and population. And the battery dies. You're fucked. What do you call AAA? And when they're going to bring out a battery that costs what, $5,000-$10,000? There's no benefit to this. It doesn't save the planet. It's a fucking planet. How are you going to ruin the planet? We've been driving with cars since the 1920s. We seem to be okay. Anyway, there's a lot of corruption and a lot of stuff like that in the system that we need to weed out. There should never be lobbyists. That should not be legal. And then there should never be a central bank. So Andrew Maguire asked the girl, well, Trump wants to come in and get rid of the central bank. And she says, well, he can't do that. Congress does. And it's like, no. The president can get rid of the central bank. He put them in 1913. All they do is cause inflation. They cause a trade cycle, and they cause taxes. There's nothing good about the Federal Reserve. It's like the Detroit Lions. They're always losers, and they benefit the league no way, and they shouldn't be in the league. But that's the problem with the Federal Reserve. They charge the interest rates. They cause the inflation. They print the money. They get lobbyists. They don't know what they're doing. This whole thing is because of the Federal Reserve, so the central banks. So then he asked her about all the central banks buying gold, and she can't answer the question. What a joke. I don't know why. And I ripped him. I showed you yesterday. I ripped the guy for having that on. All right. So we see gold still in the 1920s, silver still in the 23s. All it is opportunity to keep buying. Very soon, boom, it'll go. China's in trouble. So let's put it this way. You're in trouble and you're sitting on 60,000 tons at 32,000 ounces a ton of gold. But you don't want to use it yet because it's only $2,200 an ounce. You want it at, you want it at $30,000, $40,000 an ounce. So what do? So you basically, wait. You want to wait till it goes up, as what we're doing. So we keep buying at this price. They're like 99-cent nectarines, gold at 2,000. I mean, okay, that's cheap. Gold can't stay at 2,000. It's just a matter of time till the U.S. with this inflated dollar blows up. It's coming. Ask Venezuela, ask Turkey, ask Pakistan, ask Sri Lanka, ask Greece. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Now, they'll try to tell you, oh, it's only 2%. What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean inflation and 2%? Inflation's on at 2%. Oh, what you're talking about? You're on drugs. Inflation is it's at 20% at least. And again, because this goes down from $4.99 to $99 a pound, does that mean inflation went down? No, it's the market that goes down. Did they stop printing this? Is it gaining in value? No fucking way. There's only one way this can stop, is that's backed by gold. There's nothing you could raise interest rates to 100%. You wouldn't have an economy, but this still would be inflated dollars. I think the logic is you put your money back in the bank, and then they take and they burn the money, and then in that case they're reducing it. But since nobody trusts banks, as the banks are going to collapse more now because the second quarter's in, and now they're going to look at their financials and their bonds that they bought at 1%, and the bonds are now 5%. They're all fucked. Then she says Jerome Powell is a fucking lawyer. So that would be like me running a law firm. I'm an economics guy. I'm a football guy. I'm a poker guy. I am not a lawyer or a doctor. So you have a lawyer in charge of the Federal Reserve. The guy has no idea what he's doing. Well, I'll raise interest rates until inflation's gone. He doesn't even know that that won't stop it. He's clueless on gold. The guy is just clueless. Why he's in that position in the first place is absolutely fucking ridiculous. That'd be like putting Bobby as a quarterback for the New York Giants. No offense, Bobby, but you're a baseball player. How are you going to play quarterback? Maybe you could play quarterback, but no offense, but that would be the point of it, is putting – he is no way able to run a Federal Reserve, a bank, being an attorney. He knows law. He doesn't know finance. So, again, we're fucked with this guy. Just a politician. What do you want? And then he does what they want. He's raising rates 0.25% of the time. He doesn't know what he's doing. And when you do raise rates, let's say 0.5%, you got to wait 6 months to get the effect. Well, he raised it 10 times in a row, a half. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's not waiting for the impact to hit. And when the impact hits, it'll hit very soon, very hard. All of a sudden, the economy grinds to a halt. Now, I keep showing you interest rates going up. I show you car sales down. I show you mortgage rates at all-time high. Nobody's selling. This is the impact starting to take effect. The inflation, everybody sees it, is based. That's why I say the mortgage and the car interest rates. The mortgage rates are now over 7%. That's the only way to measure inflation. Because if I'm going to loan you money, I need to get back the money I loaned you. But in an inflation time, you're going to pay me back in inflated dollars. So if I give you $50,000 and there's inflation and you give me back $50,000, I didn't get my 50 grand back. I got about 40 grand back because the value of my dollar has shrunk and therefore it's not worth anything. So I must charge you a high interest rate to get my money back. Now, that's the problem. So if you have 50 grand in the bank, you don't realize it's only worth 40 now. You've lost 10 grand. This is why I took out 100 grand and it's all in gold now because it's worthless. This is paper that's absolutely worthless. It's only because the government says legal tender for public. Let me get a real one before I rip all my money. So this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. So when you go to so when I buy this, is that a debt? I don't think it's a debt, but anyway, so this is a mandate from the government. $1 in God we trust. Okay. Then you got the pyramid and the eagle on the back. And who knows, all the little cryptid Mason stuff on it. But it's a Federal Reserve note. So basically, they're forcing Kroger's to take the money to pay for the goods. And my point is, I'm going to take that money and buy gold with it. And you're keeping gold at 2,000. So when we ask the question, why? Who benefits from the 2,000? The benefit is the buyers. The sellers, they don't want people selling it, and they don't want people to buy it. So they keep the price low. So you think, so here's the way. So I hear Oprah buying paintings and say, I made 20,000 on a painting. So people will jump in because Oprah did it. It's like Michael Jordan selling Nikes. Oh, Michael Jordan's wearing it. I'm going to wear it. Da, 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 da. And so basically what you have is you'll hear the news on that, go buy art, but you don't hear the news, go buy gold. Now, is art a competition to this? Absolutely, because it's an asset. This is not an asset. When I read the definition of assets, this is not, well, it kind of is, but it's a depreciating asset. It's worth less and less, where gold goes up. Gold never goes down. Gold goes up. especially when it's inflation. See, it's really the value of this is dropping, so the gold should go up by the amount this drops. And it doesn't mean that because it's getting stronger versus the euro that it's any better, because it's not. Be patient. We'll talk baseball and then college football shortly. I'm on a roll. I want to go. You got to realize my show is not rehearsed. There's no script. It's whatever pops in, we go, and then we go to the next, but it all helps. Or my class, I should say. So what happens is people want to make money. So the people that it helps is it keeps you in dollars. And so the Madoff, the scam of this is, well, I'll stay in dollars because it's the government. They won't lie to me. But I don't want to be in the dollar. And I'm a little bit afraid of the banks, but, well, the Silicon Valley Bank I never heard of. And although Credit Suisse we all heard of. So my money's safe in the bank, they think. But the problem is the money in the bank, even if it's safe, isn't worth. You got $100,000 in the bank, it's not worth $100,000 anymore. You won't buy you $100,000 worth of food. If this is, okay, this is on sale for $99, I'm going to go buy a steak. They're expensive. Another thing this Fed idiot said, it's a Fed woman, just despise me. Hey, Bobby Bo, where have you been? I missed you July 4th. Happy July 4th. Happy Saturday. I was on last night after swim about 6:30. I sent you a message in there. You got to watch it. Anyway, so I'm talking about this Daniel woman who worked for the Fed. They're all like, oh, my God, she worked for the Fed. So she's clueless. She made a comment about happy life with you, Professor. By the way, I saw some of the playback. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was showing you Andrew Maguire, and the woman's clueless. She couldn't answer any of the questions, but she made a comment about, what was I going to say? There were so many things she had no idea on. Inflation. She didn't know about Russia and China. And then he kept saying, well, gold's going to go to 6,000. And then he kind of pulled back on it. And she said, well, I hope so. This is how stupid she was. But there was something I wanted to say about her. Fuck. The one where you showed the video of the lady talking a lot. Yeah, that was her. That was the Fed. I was trying to show you she couldn't answer questions. And she didn't know, it was I showed you the comments that I left. Like, why do you keep having, would you want a guest and not me on here? Would you want me to have somebody and then they're going to explain football to you? And I ask them, well, how do you handicap? And they go, well, I do the best I can. I wouldn't even watch that shit. What is that? That's just bullshit. And I keep the negative comments I leave to Andrew McGregor. What the fuck do you have guests for? Unless it's Alligator or Egon, okay. But if you're going to have these idiots, salesmen, come on. I think she's good ratings because I don't know why. She's a woman and she used to work for the Fed. And what pissed me off is she said, well, they don't even look at gold. But if I had coffee with the guys and I asked them about gold, they all like gold. So apparently she likes gold, but she doesn't understand COMEX prices fixes it. You should reach out to them and attempt to get on their show to debate. I've left them things like the guy keeps saying by popular demand. I'm like, how do I get on popular demand? I'd love to be on one of those shows. I'd rip them apart. I'd be with Andrew Maguire, but I'd rip all these guys apart. Because there's really not a subject in economics I don't know. Like I say, they'll start talking deflation, and I'll go, and today I'm saying this nectarine was 99 cents a pound. It was $4.99. Now it's down to 99. I bought it. Is that deflation because they lowered the price to market? See, what these guys aren't getting is the market. We go work, so we consume, and then we go and or we produce, and then we go consume. You did with baseball. You played, they paid you, and then you went out and spent. And nobody can tell me how you're going to spend but you. And that's why you can't have the government control it. That's communism, and that's Keynesianism. The government can never know what Bobby Bo wants to buy. All we can do is have, as producers, make you, what does Bobby like? Well, he likes baseball bats and bubble gum and whatever you love, what kind of clothes, what kind of luggage, and then I can make it and go, well, Bobby bought this, so I'm going to make some of that, and we'll see if he buys it again. But we don't know because you don't know and I don't know. Nobody knows what you want to buy, but I gotta produce it. I gotta produce luggage. I gotta produce shirts. I gotta produce jewelry, glasses. And then, so based on everybody buying it is what you produce. And you don't want monopolies. She was talking about regulations on like Vanguard and BlackRock and Blackstone and Black this and Black that. And she says it needs to be regulated because it's not a bank, they're investment bankers. And the last thing an Austrian economist wants is regulations. The only thing that should be regulated is my electricity and my heat. Only things that you cannot have competition. You can't. It's too expensive to have a power plant. For me and Bobby to build a power plant to compete with DTE Energy is impossible. The costs are so expensive, and then we wouldn't be able to make profit on it, so we can't do it. So that's the only thing that should be regulated by the government. But selling nectarines or Canadian Club, you leave this to the market. The market, that's the invisible hand, is the regulation. The Canadian Club sits there, and Crown Royal sits there, and Dewar's Scott sits there, and me and Bobby go, well, I like the Canadian Club. Bobby might like the Dewar's. They regulate themselves. That's the invisible hand. The competition, I make mine better. I make mine cheaper. So I'm like, Canadian Club, it's $25 for my 12-year, and they're selling Dewar's for $35. The market just dictated what I do. I'm going to buy the $25 because, I like them both, but Canadian Club for $10 cheaper, I'm buying it. The market regulated itself by the competition, and that's what we need. We need to get the lobbyists the fuck out. We need to get the Federal Reserve the fuck out. We need to stop with this shit and have gold back. And somebody made a comment in one of the gold videos that, everybody has to buy gold. No, you just need to back this by gold. You back this by gold. Everybody doesn't need gold. But for that, gold needs to be $20,000 an ounce just because of the volume of the people and the volume of the dollars. But if this is backed by gold, you don't need to own gold. Then some idiot doesn't understand. I love when they don't understand barter system. We're in the barter system now. I give this, I get that. This is barter. I'm trading you a piece of paper that's worthless for a fruit. We're bartering. This is barter, right? I'm giving A to get B. That's what barter is. It could be a piece of silver for this. It could be a baseball card for that. I could give them a Barry Sanders card for this. It doesn't matter. It's something of value for something of value. That's what barter is. We're on the barter system. One idiot, this Rafi guy I showed yesterday, doesn't think we're on the fiat, doesn't think there's fiat currency, and thinks we're on the gold standard. How do you listen to anybody who's that stupid? How? And I ripped him apart too. I don't believe what I watch from these other idiots. They get on there and the guy rumbles. I take pride in explaining to you. When class is over, you go, yeah, I got what the professor was smelling, was cooking. I understand what he said. I understand inflation's this. I understand why I need to buy gold. I understand Say's law. I understand football. I'm trying to get to the point where you can feed yourself, right? So there's a saying, I can give you a fish, you eat for a day, and I can teach you to fish and you eat your whole life. I'm teaching you how to fish with this. The whole thing I'm doing is teaching you how to do it. And And I don't get a lot of questions I don't understand here. And I don't get a lot of emails I don't understand here. So I think I'm doing a pretty good job, but I'm consciously trying to do that. So he's saying, this Rafi guy, and don't listen to any of these. You can't listen to Maloney. You can't listen to Rafi. You can't listen to Peter Schiff. You can't listen to Reichertz or Rick Rule. I do not look at them as competition. First of all, Rick Rule admitted he's a credit analyst. He's not an economist. What the fuck is he doing on? Maloney doesn't have a college degree. He doesn't know what he's doing. All he wants to do is show charts. And as I said, it'd be like me pulling up a New England Patriots 2008 chart and trying to pick week 1 of football. And the problem is, wait a minute, Tom Brady's not there. The trend in 2008 for the New England Patriots doesn't work now. And none of the trends work because of too much movement. I've stopped using the trends. I'll use them as a kind of a, how is the Lions as a road underdog? Oh, they suck. Okay. But I still got to look at how good's their defense and their offense and shit like that. And so you still have to do that. So when these guys go, please don't listen to them, because it's going to, it confuses me. Like, I sit there and I go, how stupid are these guys? And the problem my real problem is, why do I teach you? I want you to learn. I don't charge you anything because it's so important that you guys can be okay when the shit hits the fan and you have your gold and we're going, we got gold. We're fine. Thank you. And I'm trying to protect you guys. I hope you realize that. And these guys are just trying to sell you gold. And Andy Scheckman, they don't know anything. That's why I lead you to Alligator and Egon and Andrew McGuire. They're the ones who are actually explaining it. And when Andrew McGuire has a guest, I'm freaking out because I'm like, no, don't have these idiots on. That's what we're trying to avoid. That's why we're coming to you, Andrew, is so we can listen to your point of view. I don't want to hear this Federal Reserve lady who's fucking, well, the gold, the COMEX has to blow up. Well, that would be nice. And she starts talking de-dollarization. Oh, well, I'll believe it when I see it. All the money's still U.S. dollar. Well, they're getting rid of it. It takes time to get rid of the dollars. It's they can't do what I do and what Bobby, go buy gold and silver. We're taking our money and buying gold and silver. That's what we're doing. And Bobby, I showed in the video yesterday how interest rates are going up on houses and nobody can sell their house. So I want you to take notice of that. That's why there is a little bit more movement in houses because of fear that now we're at hyperinflation. It's Nazi Germany, right? When they would buy things before they went up. So when they had the wheelbarrows full of money and they're going to the store to buy milk and bread, it was, I want to buy it now at 500 Deutschmarks before I got to spend 1,000 Deutschmarks for the milk. So they started panicking to buy now before the price went up. And that's what's happening in houses. And I think in cars, I think anything that's really interest rate sensitive and you see a push that goes up, that push is because they know there's inflation. And they know, as I've explained with Bobby, using Bobby saying, well, Bobby wants to lend me $50,000, but he's got to charge me 20% interest, because if I give him back $50,000, it's going to be inflated money. He's really only going to get $40,000 back. Why would Bobby lend me 50 to get 40? So he's got to charge me 25% interest. So he actually, in the long run, gets $55,000 worth of money. Otherwise, why would Bobby want to lend anybody $50,000 to get paid back 40? That would be incredibly stupid. So my point is, just go buy $50,000 worth of gold. You don't have to worry about it. Why risk anything? So that's what I told my company when they let me go in September. Best thing that happened, because now I got a job making $20,000 more, and it's much easier, and I'm working from home. And the whole point of that is, why go into? So I told the guy, I says, do you own any gold? And he goes, no. And I says, well, you'll be out of business in 6 months. I told him March, but it's happening soon. He'll be out of business. So what'll happen is it'll be step 11 of So I'm going to quickly read you the trade cycle. We'll get to college football. So there's 16 steps of the trade cycle, and we'll go through this maybe later or tomorrow or something. Liquidity phase, 13, sell, cost cutting, companies close and lay off. We are seeing that right now, companies laying off. Deflation, the correct definition, Austrian, is banks have bad loans. In other words, people bought houses, borrowed money from the bank, and they can't pay them back. Fiduciary money drops. Banks can't find willing and able to borrow. I don't want to buy a house now. Interest rates are too high. I want the market to come down. So that's the real definition of deflation. It's banks have bad loans, not prices falling. Step 15, banks can't find borrowers. So the banks just buy bonds, and the banks would be better off in gold, which is what you see the central banks buying all the gold. Because they understand, why would I loan it out? This is exactly what I'm saying, right? Why the fuck would I loan, Kenzie? Why would I loan Kenzie $50,000 so I could make 10%, which I got to figure out and stress. Can she pay me back? Is she going to keep her job? And I'm going to get paid back in inflated dollars. Fuck it. Why don't I just take 50 grand, which I did, and buy gold with it? Which I did. Now I have no risk. I don't have to sweat about being paid back because nobody can say, assault on Wall Street and say, oh, by the way, your real estate trust is now worth zero. And then the guy goes and kills everybody. And again, and that's why I keep using this example. If he buys gold with the 60 grand, he's fine. It's not only that, it's worth 100,000. So nobody can make gold zero if you have the coin. This is why I say go to the fucking coin store, buy the coin, put it in your safe, and just relax. You don't have to worry about getting paid back. You don't have to worry about it going to zero. It's going to go huge, and it's the snowball effect. Once people start seeing gold at 10,000, there's going to be a rush to gold. And to answer Nick's question, and I know he asked it, can I sell it? What do you think, Nick? Can you sell your Rolex for 45? Can you sell the Montana rookie card for 125? Let's see how that auction ended. I showed you last week the Montana rookie card was going for 125. Let's see what happened. Well, first we'll look at gold because I'm on it. So our gold price is $20.63 for the ounce, $20.60 for the Indian. I don't see a difference. $20.56, $20.58. Gold price is $19.30. Still a healthy thing. Here's a good one for you, Bobby. The Kangaroo. It's an Australian one, 2080. The Cougaran 2021. That's the one I'd buy because I'm buying the ounce of gold and it's only costing me 2021. The Maple Leafs 2019. So this is why I buy these. Look at it. Here's one for 2039. These 2064. So you can see what they're going for. And I will reach out to these guys. I reached out to Liberty and Finance, the father son who asked the stupid questions, and they never. And I said, "Here's my video." So it's not like I'm just saying I'm an economist. Here, watch my class. Then you can see the depth of me and the way I explain things. And they don't want to do it, so that's their loss, not mine. I'm on here teaching. If they don't want to read it, that's their problem. But fuck all of them. Everybody sees it. So let's go. We were looking at the Montana. Seriously, I got to put Joe Montana in. Joe Montana PSA 10. I should have watched the card. Let's see. Here we go. Joe Montana, PSA 10. There you go, Bobby. $125,000. It's a buy it now. I think the guy should have put best offer. So there's 3 ways to auction. You can auction, you can do buy it now, and then you can do best offer. In other words, let's say I wanted to offer him $105,000. Here I can. Well, I guess I could still go in and do that. Now this is what you do. Look at the competition. 99,000. This is the market for Joe Montana rookie cards PSA 10. $99,000. The one I bought, ungraded, perfect condition, a little bit off center. I mean, look at the centering. You very rarely can find this centering on 81 Topps football, any card. That's why it's so expensive. It's there's very, very few PSA 10s. So the guy for 125 is out of his mind because, he's got free market competition of 99,000. Which card would you buy? I'd buy the one for 99 or best offer. Let's offer him what, 80,000, Bobby? You got 80,000. I could give him soon. I'll give him an ounce of gold for it. I bought the card for $100. And this goes back to my theory. Did I really think this card's going to go to 100,000? Never in my wildest dreams, because baseball, football cards were not going to that amount, but there was no graded. So I was smart enough back in the 90s when there was no graded, when I bought the card, to get it as gem mint. Perfect corners, perfect centering, no stains. Perfect corners I could find. Perfect set was extremely difficult to find. It took me and my ex about 2 or 3 months of looking at Montana rookies. And back then, people had them and they were worth $100. So I finally found one that was I showed you, pretty damn gem mint. I don't know if I'll get a 10. It's a little bit off center, but due to the thing, I could probably get a 10 on it. Then I'm worth $100,000. Did I expect my $100 investment to be worth $100,000? Never in my wildest dreams. I didn't even care if it went to 200 because I bought it as a collectible. And that's what we're doing with gold and silver. We're buying silver at $25 an ounce. Do we expect it to go to 100,000? No. Can it go to 100,000? There's proof it could. Is gold going to go to 100,000? You guys think I'm crazy when I say 50, but if I would have told you Joe Montana rookie card is going to be 99,000, you're going to say you're out of your fucking mind. Well, here it is, 99,000. Am I out of my fucking mind? That's what the market dictates. Now, in gold, we don't have that market. In gold, there is no free market to let the price run where it should. It's the 2060 I showed you is based on COMEX. And as I showed you, well, the definition of how do you price gold is based on COMEX. COMEX is based on derivatives, not on the market. Even the Fed lady did not understand supply and demand, or didn't understand the price of gold. She said, well, it's supply and demand. And Andrew had to correct her going, well, no, we know it's price fixed. We know it's derivatives. It's not the real price. She didn't even understand that. Like, why is she? And I said, why is this woman on your show? She doesn't even know the basic fundamentals of price fixing in gold. This is where I really double edge you guys because of my football and gambling mind and trend mind. I can bring that into gold and economics and vice versa. I bring economics into women and poker and football. So economics says supply and demand, and we're waiting. And it's the same thing with girls. It's the same thing both ways. Girls with guys, guys with girls. You should have 2 or 3 of them. Because why would you want one? And then she leaves you, and then you're stuck alone. Well, if you have 3, go ahead. And you act totally different because you go, well, I got these other girls. I don't need you. But you can still love the girl. I love Jenna and I love Daria, so it doesn't matter. And of course, I love Irina, but that's a different story. But I love them both, and I tell them both very honestly that I love them both, and they know it, and I help them, and everything's fine. But why would I want one? Especially now in Europe with the fucking Russians playing the Ukrainians. It's like Alabama and Georgia playing. So I can't believe it. But I help them both. I love them both, and they love me. And that's what's wrong with that, right? But why would you want one? You don't want a monopoly. You always want competition. So let the girls compete for me and let them have 2 or 3 guys and let us compete for her. Like Miss Kenzie over here, she keeps fucking around and trying to scam me. She's not smart enough to let me compete for her, right? Oh, I can't send a photo. I can't call you. It's the biggest bunch of horseshit I ever heard in my life. All she's trying to do is give me money, where that's the sure sign it's a scam. So she'll never get money until I said, why don't we just meet? I met one girl in Vegas. I called her up. She said, meet me. I flew to Vegas, told her I'm at the Monte Carlo when it was the Monte Carlo. She came. We met in the lobby. She looks me over. Okay, yeah, you're a nice guy. And we went up to the room. And then we've been friends ever since. And that's my point. It's why doesn't she want to do that? She doesn't want to meet. She doesn't want to send me photos. Now I was able to actually call this other girl and arrange it, and I booked it, and then I went there, and everything was fine. So that was okay. I didn't need her picture. I went to the hotel. I know what she looks like. If it's not her, if it's somebody pretending to be her, well, I'm not going to waste my time. But everything is about competition, and it strives to make everybody better. It makes prices cheaper, and that's what you want. So anyway, this is beautiful. The Montana for $99,000. That's the market. That's on eBay. That's the free market. We do not have that in gold, but we're hoping to get it in gold. I think China and Russia are going broke, need to start having their gold price go up, and I can see them finally forcing it up. There's this new Basel IV, which means if you want to do these derivatives, you actually have to have physical, and that should end it. And then we can start seeing gold, 1 ounce, 99,000, and we all celebrate. Again, the central bank lady seemed like, well, let's wait and see what happens. The de-dollarization, the gold, let's wait and see what happens. And we are forward thinking. We read something and know what's going to happen. As I said yesterday, so I'm playing poker and the guy makes a big bet. I know he's got a good, I don't have to see his full house. I know he's got a full house the way he bets and the way the player is. She's sitting there going, well, let's see about the de-dollarization. And it's very clear that all these countries are joining BRICS to get away from the dollar. But she can't read that. She's too stupid to read de-dollarization. All she says is, well, 80% of that, which who knows if that's true. I don't know where she's getting that. Oh, I'm getting it from the Bank of International Settlement. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they're not lying. Just like the U.S. government isn't lying. Oh, and then she said the inflation's only 2%. Okay, I've had enough of this woman. She's fucking clueless. And that's why, Andrew, are you having this idiot on your show? I don't want to listen to her, so I don't want to listen to your show. But I look forward to on Friday to hear you explain things that, as you say, you can only get here. And then you tell me, then you bring in these guests that I can hear other places that I don't, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway, very happy to see. So now you got 2 Montana cards, a 99 and a 1 1/4. And who did the better auction? The guy for 99, I guarantee you will sell. The guy for 125 is going to hold it for a while because it's, why would you spend 125 when you can spend 99 or best offer, which means I can probably offer him 85 and he'll make the sale. Now, the problem is the 85 grand, it's in gold right now. I don't want to sell my gold. I want to wait till gold's 99,000. We never thought the Montana card would go to 99,000, or the Rice card's 99,000, or the Walter Payton rookie card, or the Lynn Swan, or the Earl Campbell, or the Tony Dorsett, and the Jerry Rice, and we can go on and on. The funny part is the Marino's only worth like 20,000, and the Lawrence Taylor's only about 20,000. The Lawrence Taylor's in this set. Oh shit! It's in this set. I got 2 Lawrence Taylor rookies. This card's normally about 900, so I'm shocked. Well, see, this is an auction. See, you got to be careful when you see the low price, but then look at the auction. 25 bids, and it ends in 2 days. We come back in 2 days. Well, I'm going to go watch the card. So we will get the true what the card's worth. So I'm going to hit watch. So I've clicked on watch. So now there's a watch setting, and I can go, what am I watching? And this will be in there. So when the auction ends, we can see what it is. Let me watch the 99,000 Montana. Now here I can buy it now. I can add it to cart. I can make an offer. So I could offer him 75,000. He might not take it. I don't know that I'd take it. So now they're in my watch. So I can then, a month from now, I'll share it with you. We'll look at them. What did they sell for? And that's the whole point. But that's the free market. We don't have that in gold and silver. And that's what I try to pound into you guys. People think that COMEX is supply and demand free market, and it's not. It's a bunch of derivatives diluting the value. So that'd be like me putting out derivatives on the Montana card. I'm going to sell 1 million of these PSA 10s that I don't have, that aren't in existence, and that'll lower the price to 10,000. So now you can buy it for 10,000. So the question is, who benefits from the low gold price? Anybody who wants to buy gold benefits from it. Who doesn't benefit is the people trying to sell it because it's too low. So right now you must be buying. You must be a buyer of it. At this, you must realize it's cheap. It's the 99,000 Montana card that you can get for 10 grand. Would you buy it? No, it's 2 grand. Would you buy this for 2 grand? You would, knowing it's 99, but you don't know it's 99 is the problem with gold. I tell you it's 99. I tell you it's 50, but you don't believe me. Nobody believes me, but nobody would have believed that the Montana rookie card would go for $99,000 either. Here it is. Apparently I caught something on, there was a Pete Maravich rookie card. I don't know what it was going for. It was an extremely high number because there was only a few PSA 10s. And the radio host was that MGM, BetMGM. And the guy he totally did not understand free market. Well, why would the Maravich be worth so much? Because there's only 2 PSA 10s. And the demand is much stronger than that. So you're getting a PSA 10 when it's extremely difficult to get, like the Montana. These guys don't understand economics. It's the real supply demand. This is real Austrian economics. The supply, there's a few Montana 10s, and the demand is huge. So you're able to get 100 grand for it because the demand's so high because there's only a few PSA 10s you can find because of the fucking alignment. The one I showed you is a little bit off center. Hopefully I can get a 10 on. Otherwise, it was a perfect card. And when it's limited, look at the value. When it's limited, look at the value. When it's not limited, look at the value. So let's go to a 1989 Montana. It's $33. And it's an auction. Let's go to a different one. There's another auction. A lot of auctions here. All right, here's an 84 Montana. 84, $214. PSA 10. Why is it only $214? And it's buy it now. So again, you can then buy it. because they printed a lot of them. Apparently it wasn't as hard in the 84 to get centering. And what does that remind us? This. Because it's not limited, it doesn't have a value. But when you get a limited, card with huge demand, and the rookie's always worth more, there's always more demand for the rookie for some reason. I never knew why. It's the first card. Who gives a fuck? So that's why I bought the second-year Jordan, because I said, well, who cares if it's the rookie card or the second-year card? A little mistake there. The rookie was probably 500, and at the time I didn't spend more than 100 on the cards. I never expected the values to do what they're doing. Again, you got to have PSAs and you got to have PSA 10s. So this is, will the Mahomes go to 99,000 if it's limited? But the thing is, since the centering was hard, there's very few 10s. The cards now they're usually pretty good quality control. I'm sure the Mahomes rookie cards, you're probably not having a centering issue. So there's a lot of PSA 10s or the Burrow cards. So will it go? It depends how limited. That's why the Brady card I showed you says out of 600. That's extremely limited for a Brady rookie, 600 of them, and it's numbered 600. So I'm sitting on those all day, and I know they're going to hit 100,000. That one Brady refractor, the regular card is $30,000 for the regular Topps Chrome Brady rookie card. I've got the refractor, not the regular. If the regular is 30,000, I can't imagine what the refractor is going for, right? And I just got to get it graded. It's perfect condition. There's no lines to worry about. The center is fine. There's no smudges. It's a perfect card. How it won't get a 10, I have no idea. But in my mind, there's nothing to fuck it up. There's no lines, right? It's just it's a pitcher, and then the corners are solid. The pitcher's good. It's got to be a 10. So who knows what that's worth? I guarantee it's worth a hell of a lot more than 30,000 because that's the regular card, not the refractor. So again, it's the rookie card. It's limited. That's what you want. If you get low supply, that's the problem with this. The supply of this is not limited. It's extremely 10 trillion they printed, and probably more because it's all around the world, and they're printing more and more for they're printing it for Social Security and welfare and Medicare. They're printing. I think they think if they do a digital dollar, I'm not sure they're trying to hurt people. I just think if they do it, they're like, oh, we can save on the printing costs and nobody will know inflation. Well, we'll still know the inflation. You have to have a number of how much you printed or nobody will trust you. So even if they come out with they'll come out with a digital, but they're not going to get rid of this won't go away. This is how you buy eggs and milk and bread and go to the steakhouses. You still need this, even though it might be on a debit card. You still need to be able to use your debit card. And so I would think the central bank digital currency will still be the same thing. This control stuff is fantasy land. Good luck to. I mean, there's riots in France and there's tractor blockades in Madrid, Spain, over all this bullshit that's going on. So I can't imagine what would happen here. I mean, we're fighting amongst each other, which is the way they're trying to blow up the U.S. is if we fight each other is the only way. But it's exactly what's happening. Your best way out is the gold. But I do tell you to buy the Montana for 99,000. It's an asset. It's limited. Is it going to go down? Fuck no. I'd rather have this than a house because if I had 99 grand, I would buy this because I don't have to worry about, I would buy gold. But if the gold starts getting up to 50,000 an ounce, I would buy the Montana. Because it's 99,000 now in inflated dollars, right? So as the inflation hits, the value of the card actually goes way up. and it's not going to go to zero. On one hand, it is priced in dollars, but it's the card. It'll be priced in whatever currency there is. It'll be priced in gold. It'll be priced in the new currency. Whatever it is, it's not going to lose its value. It's like gold. Gold will eventually be its own market. It won't be priced in dollars. Gold will have the value, as the Montana card will have the value. But you're not going to cut a corner of it off to buy eggs. Somebody said that. I couldn't believe how stupid he is. He's going, well, what do I do? Buy a 114 silver? No, they're going to come out with new. See, this is people that aren't economists talking. They'll come out with new currency. That's what they'll do. I showed you that tape on Australia yesterday where they're not letting you get your money out of the bank. Well, there's ways around it. You can use your debit card. The money's still in your account. They haven't said it's zero. You just can't get money out. So what you do is you make a purchase and you buy whatever. I mean, what do you really need the money for? The only reason I need money is to buy gold, so I don't pay the 3% penalty. But if I wanted to buy this card, I would use my debit card. So if I had $100,000 in the bank, I'd buy the card. I'd pay them with my bank. I don't really need to touch this as long as it's still in the bank. So that's what you do. You buy the gold with your debit card. You buy your food with your debit card. And that's really what they're trying to say is, well, it's digital. It's not digital. It's electronic. And it's the money. You still need money to use your debit and credit cards. You got to pay your credit card back with money, and you got to have money in your account to use your debit card. That's what's happening. So you can see how economics works in cards. Very limited card, a lot of demand, 99,000. Gold, very, very limited, a lot of demand. That's why I point to the demand part. When you have strong demand, the price should follow. It makes sense when the Montana card at 99,000. However, why isn't gold going up is because they're keeping the price down. So that's like trying to sell the Montana card and it's $2,000. You're like, wait a minute. Here we know it's 99 because it's been sold for 99 before. So the guy has he has something to look at going, yeah, 99,000. That's one sold for 100. When Jerry Rice sold for 100. Now that doesn't mean it's a set price. Here's 99. I could maybe offer him 89. Depending on how badly he needs the money, he'd probably take it. So now does the market shift to 89? Well, not really. It's in there. It's not a static market. It's between 89 and 100. The guy trying to get to 125, his mistake is there's a guy out there for 99. So he's checkmated. He can't never sell the card for 125 when I can buy a PSA 10 and it's 99, I can do it. So what he needs to do is lower his to buy a best offer and come in at 95. That's what he needs to do. Well, he doesn't even need to do that. He just needs to make it a best offer. Then people can bid on both these cards, but he'll never get 125 with 99 unless he's JP Morgan and he says, let's get rid of this guy for 99 and mine is the monopoly. And then there's only one card, and then you have to spend 125. That's what JP Morgan tries to do. That's what the lobbyists try to do is create monopolies. So there is no competition. This is perfect competition. PSA 10, it's graded, 125, 99, we're competing. We're the consumer, we work. Do we want to spend 99 on a Montana rookie card? Well, if you like Montana, it's very limited. It's PSA 10. So yeah, I mean, if that's your thing. Is it going to go down in value? No fucking way. Nobody can come in like a real estate trust and knock it down saying, well, it's not worth anything. Because you can come here on the free market on eBay, and that's what eBay is. It's free market. I'll show you some Adam Smith stuff next week. He talks just about this. He says the free markets suggests what the selling price is. The price is what the whole knowledge is, right? Oh, fuck, I'm Montana. So when I tell Nick when he goes to a card show or what I did, I look for the Montana rookie cards that aren't graded because they're only going to cost you 100 or 200 because in Beckett, they don't know how to price the ungraded card is nothing. Maybe it's 500 now. You can buy it for 500. If you see it perfectly centered and sharp corners and it's a gem mint card. You pay the 500, you get it graded, and it's worth the $100,000. That's what I tell Nick to do, and that's what I did. Go to the show, look for the card. It's not graded, but you're a keen eye. You can the corners you can just kind of feel, and don't hit them too hard. Just kind of they're sharp, and then look at the centering, and if it's centered and it's really close to 50-50, that's second. And then you look for stains. Is there stains on the front or back? Is the picture clear? Like this picture is pretty fucking clear, right? You can see Joe, it's centered. The corners look sharp. No stains. Okay, fine. And my only regret is I didn't, in 81, I didn't buy sports cards. I don't know what I was doing. I was in college. I should have, Now, this is the ironic twist of me knowing I needed to buy gold after my master's. My ex gets us in the 1990s into sports cards. And the ironic twist is we could have bought more gold, but all of a sudden I got a Montana rookie, maybe worth $100,000, probably worth 10, at least 15, PSA 9s. Walter Payton rookie, Earl Campbell rookie, Tony Dorsett rookie, Lynn Swann rookie, Lawrence Taylor. All of a sudden, my card collection, if they're PSA 10s, and then all these Marvels are worth a ton of money, far more than I would have got had I bought the gold, because gold's suppressed. Now, once gold isn't suppressed, the gold would have killed the cards. So the question is, will the Montana rookie, I buy it for 99, inflation kills the dollar, all gold goes up, will my card be worth 99,000 because now there's no dollars to price it in? And the answer is yes. Because it's an asset, That's what this is. It's got value and you can hold it. Nobody can fuck with you. Nobody can say, because if I can come on eBay and sell it, nobody can say it's not worth anything. It's just like a Picasso or a Rolex. Are you going to say they're not worth anything? Yeah, we've inflated the dollar to zero, so your Picasso is worthless? No, it'll be valued in either whatever is a new currency or in gold. Gold will value the Montana. Gold will value everything. Will gold value Bitcoin is your big question, right? Bitcoin hit 30,000. I say, but it's valued in dollars, because the difference between Bitcoin and Montana I have. It's in my hand. I showed it to you, right? Here it is. Well, what's Bitcoin? I can't put it in my hand. It's a computer generated bullshit. It's not, they don't even have a real coin. I think I would take it if there was those Bitcoins were real and numbered, but I don't think 21 million is limited. How many of these Montana 10s do you think there are? 10s. And there's a ton of Montana because they're tops, but they fucked it up so bad that I bet you there's not even 100 PSA 10s. I looked, and there's no reason the dealer wouldn't have shown his best cards, because it was $100 back in the 90s. So I bet you there's not even 100 PSA 10 Montanas that exist versus 21 million Bitcoins. What's worth more? Well, the more limited they are. This is why the Trish Speaker 1906 is worth how many millions? It's a PSA 2. It's not in good condition. There's only 7 of them. No supply, huge demand, high value. So in everything but gold and silver, huge demand, limited supply, high price, except gold and silver price. This is where I derive my whole thesis of $50,000 gold. Montana is $99,000 for his rookie card because of the demand for gold. We can see it in all the central banks, Russia and China and India and Saudi Arabia buying it. We can see the demand's huge because it's selling for the 99 cent my nectarine's selling for. That's how they look at gold at $2,000. It's a joke. However, these women on that and all these Rick Rules and all these other idiots First of all, they don't understand COMEX. They think it's supply and demand. It's not. Secondly, they don't get that Montana's 99,000, right? So they don't understand there's huge demand for gold. Therefore, the price needs to be where the demand is. Huge demand for Montana. They're selling it for 99,000. Huge demand for gold. It's 2,000. That's why I put you in gold first, because it hasn't gone to the demand yet. And then the question is, well, it hasn't done it in 50 years. Why is it going to do it now? And I'm saying because A, inflation, so this isn't limited. B, Russia, China, wanting to come out with a new dollar because they hate the U.S., so they're going to come out with a dollar backed by gold. Then everybody will trust that the dollar, they don't trust the countries, but they trust that the dollar backed by gold, they can trust gold. So they're not trusting Russia and China. That's where I'm deriving all my thesis from. So when I say gold at 50,000, it could be 100,000. This 99,000 could be gold very, very easily, because with all the central banks holding all this gold in Russia and China, there's only so much gold out there, which means if you want it, good luck. I mean, you can find an ounce or two at the coin store like I do, but how much can we afford? But the people that don't have gold and silver, as long as there's gold-backed currency, don't need it. But it's going to cost them a lot to get the gold. In other words, I come out with gold-backed currency, I'm going to need 50 or 100 of these to buy it because it's backed by gold. And the demand for the gold-backed currency will be huge. This is another reason we have the gold and silver, because we need it, because everything will be backed by gold and silver. It's the only thing we can trust. So where the Montana rookie card is 99,000, it'll be priced in gold. It'll be 2 ounces of gold. That $400,000 house will be 2 ounces of gold. The Mercedes for $100,000 will be 1 ounce of gold. That's how I get and derive at my thought process, which is why you guys think I'm crazy going $50,000 gold. And it's like, I'm being conservative based on $99,000 Montana. Based on demand, the demand for gold is there. The demand for silver is even higher because it's so cheap. Who benefits from the cheap? The buyers. Who doesn't benefit? The sellers. That's why we don't sell the silver at 25. We wait till the silver goes up. And that's what we want to do. So 99,000 for Montana rookie card. Unbelievable. All right, so let's switch topics. Where are we at? The 122. Will be Major League Baseball. So I'm trying to put little timers in on my thing, and how am I going to do that? It's going to be close. All right, let's talk baseball. Again, anytime you see Scherzer, Verlander, McCullough, it's an automatic lock. We're not going to win every time, but whatever we can win, we win. All right. 105. It is 105. The Cubs Yankees are about to go. We got Smiley and Cole. We like the under in this game. Cole's the ace, 8-2 at the 279. We'll go. Okay, so take the under in the Yankees game. Next game, and that's just starting now, so just trying to put something out there. St. Louis and the White Sox. McCullers 4-5 with a 4.51 against Tuki Toussaint. Sounds like a guy who was a running back of Washington. 0-1 with a 3.95 ERA. St. Louis is really shitty. I'm going to show you stats after I do this. Over under 10. White Sox can hit. St. Louis, pretty bad team. St. Louis is favored. I don't know who this Tyler Toussaint is, so let's ignore that. Baltimore mini. Baltimore 52 wins, mini 45. Tyler Wells 6-4 at the 3.19 for Baltimore. Sonny Gray 4-2 at the 2.50. Let's go under in this. Two strong pitchers going. I know Sonny Gray's good. I don't know Tyler Wells, but he's 6-4 at the 3.19. Let's go under 8. Texas, Washington. We know Texas, heavy hitting team. Washington stinks. Heaney, 5-5 with a 4.12 for Texas. Jake Irvin, 1-5 with a 4.70 for Washington. Let's go over. Weak pitcher for Washington. Texas might get 10 by themselves. Texas should win, but Haney with the 4.12, it's kind of a weak pitcher. Let me take this picture for Jenna. Jenna hasn't been feeling good. So Jenna's been having like high blood pressure attacks, and part of it's the war. I'm sure she's drinking a lot. As we know, the sugar's not good for you. So I'm a little bit worried about her. It happened when we were together for New Year's. We're at a bar celebrating, and then she starts drinking, and then all of a sudden the shit hit the fan. We had to go back to the hotel. She calls the doctor for a shot. And, she's young, she's thin, but she's got high blood pressure, and you can't have sugar with high blood pressure. Anyway, so I hope she's feeling better. I told her, avoid the sugar. She's finally listening now. She wasn't. I sent her the doctor we use here. I sent her one on high blood pressure, and I said, or strokes, and I sent it to her. So she can understand English well enough to watch the video. All right, I apologize for that. So let's go over with Texas, Washington. They're a big hitting team. Colorado and the 49ers. Seaball 1-5, 6.62 versus Walker 2-0 at the 2.57. Let's go with San Francisco here. Colorado on the road, weak pitcher, strong pitcher for the Niners. Oakland, Boston, Blackburn 1-1 with the 4.50. Paxton 4-1 with the 2.70. Let's go with Boston here. They're a pretty good team. They're just in a bad division with Tampa, Toronto, and the Yankees. Again, they're playing Oakland. So this is more we're betting against Oakland. We're betting against KC. We're betting against that. Anyway, Cleveland. So we're taking Boston. We're betting against Oakland. Then Cleveland, KC. Singer 5.52. Williams 0-1 with the 3.79. She just woke up, so she's telling me about it. Singer 5-7 with the 5.52. Williams 0-1 with the 3.79. We're going to take Cleveland because KC's as bad as Oakland, and we're really just betting against KC here. The pitcher for Cleveland, who know, 0-1, but the KC pitcher 5-7 with the 5.52. Cleveland should be able to hit him. Let's see. Cincinnati, Milwaukee. Weaver 2-2 with a 6.72 for Cincinnati. Milwaukee Ray 5-4 with the 4.0. We're going over here. 2 weak pitchers, 2 high ERAs, over 9.5. Cincy can hit. Milwaukee's okay. Philly, Miami. I'm going to go through stats as soon as I'm done with this. That'll really show you really what's going on. Philly, Miami. Suarez for Philly, 2-3 with the 3.67. Garrett for Miami, 4-2 with the 3.61. Philly's a pretty good team. Miami's pretty. They're both they're very strong teams. Let's go over the 7.5. Even though the pitching's 3.61 and 3.67, Philly tends to hit a lot, and so does Miami. So these are decent pitchers, but. I was looking at a guy with a 6 ERA, and he threw a shutout. So that's the problem with this. You really need to see how does this Garrett from Miami do against Philadelphia. That's really the key, not just this overall bland, but right now we're just doing this. Pitt in Arizona, we got Nelson for Arizona, 4-1 with a 2.76, and Mitch Keller, 9-4 with a 3.52. Here we will go under, even though Arizona hits, Pitt doesn't. And I like Arizona in the game, and I like the game under. Seattle and Houston, we got Ric Flair, Brian Wu going for Seattle, 1-1 with a 4.08 against Framber Valdez, 7-6 with the 2.49. Let's take Houston here. Although, it's tough to bet against Ric Flair, but we're going to do it. Atlanta, Tampa, two of the best teams. We got Strider, very good pitcher, 10-2 with a 3.66 for Atlanta. Ty Bradley, 5-4 with a 5.27 for Tampa. We're going with Atlanta with Strider. LA against LA, no pitching, no pick. The Mets in San Diego. Bobby, you playing for the Mets tonight? It's in San Diego. Peterson, 2-6 with a 6.61. Ooh, this guy sucks. Blake Snell, 5-7. Let's take San Diego. No offense, Bobby, but where's Verlander and Scherzer? And you got Peterson. I mean, Jesus. And Toronto and Detroit is in a delay, so I don't know what that's about. It's 1:13. They must have started early. Now I'm going to show you stats. This will really help you. Let me just touch base with Jenna. All right, so excuse me for that. So when we look at so we're going to look at batting average. This will really give you the good concept of baseball, and this really how you pick it. So Texas is the best hitting team with. Oh, good. I got major. How did the hell was that? Okay, so if I look at the whole major leagues, Texas is batting 275. They're the best hitting team. Atlanta's 272. Miami's 264. So I'm in Yahoo. I've selected major league stats in all situations. There is home and away, day and night, but I'm not going to worry about that right yet. I look at the pitchers. So Texas 275, Atlanta 272, Miami 264, Boston and Toronto 262, Tampa, Arizona, Philly 260, Washington 259. You get the drill. And then we go down to the bottom, and we got Minnesota 233, Milwaukee 232, Detroit 231, Kansas City 230, the Yankees 230, and Oakland in 220. And now we understand why they have good records and bad records. New York's the anomaly where they're hitting 230, but they hit a lot of home runs, which is the problem there. But look at the worst teams in the league: Detroit, Kansas City, and Oakland hitting 220, 230, 231. Minnesota, who's leading the bullshit Central, is at 233, which is another problem. The White Sox, 238. This is the whole problem with the division. Cleveland's the best at 248. So you've got some very weak hitting teams, and guess what? They're the worst teams in baseball. So you got to be careful with that. Now let's go to pitching, and we're going to do ERAs. And we look at the best pitchings, Minnesota. So their hitting's weak, but their pitching's good. So that's why they're in first place. Then you get a team like Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and Houston, who are good hitting and good pitching. Atlanta 360, Tampa 369, Houston 370, Cleveland 370. The Yankees, that's why they're good, 381. San Diego, Toronto 388, Texas 399. And then we go down, and Detroit 454, and the worst is Oakland, a 602, Colorado 577, Kansas City 526. So you've got the teams that are the worst cannot hit and cannot pitch. What do you need to do to win baseball? You need to hit and you need to pitch. The best hitting teams, Texas, Atlanta, and then the best pitching teams, Minnesota, Atlanta, Tampa, Houston, Seattle, and you wonder why they're in first place. So it's very easy to understand if you can just read statistics, but you have to go deeper. You have to go, well, you know what? That's for everything. Let's go into these home games, away, day and night, grass and turf, indoors, outdoors. Oh my God. Innings 1 through 6, innings 7 plus. So let's go to innings 1 through 6. Since the starters, I don't want batting, I want pitching. Now, I don't want batting. It keeps defaulting back to batting. There's some here. There's pitching. What the fuck? Let's try this again. I don't know. It's not giving me the break. But anyway, that's the concept. Batting average and ERA are really the keys to look at. So you can easily see the A teams and the Z teams, and then you get the concept of why I do A teams and Z teams. I want to bet the A and I want to bet against the Z. It's the art of war. You find the weakness and you bet against it. You find the strength, and that's who you bet on. And that's what we did today. Boston's playing, I think, Oakland. We're betting against Oakland. Cleveland was playing KC. We're betting against KC because they can't hit and they can't pitch. So let's run through college football. At the 141 mark. There's a lot. Should we? Well, 141. What the fuck? It's Saturday. It's 130. I'll do a quick one. So I'm on scores and odds, NCAA football. Right now, I'm just going to read the spreads. So we got Notre Dame, Navy, 826. Spread still 20.5, 48.5. We know Hartman's on Notre Dame now. Look for them to be much more explosive this year than they have been. UTEP and Jacksonville State. I guess Jacksonville State is in the Sun Belt or something. Good luck there. UTEP 1.5, 53.5. I don't know. I don't know how to get a read on Jacksonville State. Primetime was there. He's now in Colorado. He's in the hospital. Who's their coach? The whole team left. I would think UTEP will kill him. UMass, New Mexico State laying 8.5. That's a joke. Was 9. I love New Mexico State here. Only laying 2.5. That's ridiculous. Ohio, San Diego State. Ohio's 3.5, 49.5. Probably an under game, but we'll see. Hawaii, Vanderbilt, at Vanderbilt laying 17.5, 56.5. Probably an over. Vanderbilt will probably just score. Hawaii might get a little better this year, start scoring. San Jose State, USC. USC 30.5, 63.5. Now, as we noted, we thought San Jose State was a good defensive team, but their defense left. They got a really good quarterback. All of a sudden, this is an over game. But Vegas is going to use last year's San Jose State numbers. I got USC putting up 50 and San Jose State putting up 20. That's a 70, 63 is 57.5. So love the over in the game. I don't know. USC doesn't have the defense to cover 30, but we'll see. Florida International, LTAC 9.5, 59.5. Hard to say here. Probably, let's see how good LTAC is. Florida International is very, very weak. Kent State, UCF. I got no line on 831. I don't know why. NC State, 16.5, 48.5. I don't know how good UConn is. NC State quarterback transferred, good defensive team. I'd have to go under here. I don't think NC State scores a lot, but their defense will definitely keep UConn in check. Nebraska, Minnesota, mini 7.5, 46.5. I know Bobby liked Nebraska. I like Minnesota minus 1.5, or I like the game under 52.5. Ibrahim's gone. Morgan, the quarterback's gone for Minnesota. Nebraska doesn't have much anyway. Minnesota's just going to run and play defense, so this should be very low scoring. Florida and Utah. Utah 9.5, 50.5. Love Utah. Florida with a new quarterback, going to the mountains, and revenge rising is fine. Look for Utah to, win by 20, maybe more. Miami of Ohio against Miami of Florida. We got Van Dyke, and they went to an air raid offense. Look for him to be much more productive than he was last year, probably more to what he was 2 years ago. Miami laying 17, 47.5. What's Miami of Ohio? Miami of Ohio is an under team, so let's take Miami minus the 11, I think. Miami of Ohio will not be able to stop Van Dyke. And Miami of Ohio doesn't have an offense to keep up with him. So here's where we'll take Miami. Central Michigan, Michigan State 14.5, 52.5. I like the over here. No defense. Thorne's back for State. Central, do they have their quarterback? Central's got a new quarterback who knows? The coach is quarterback friendly. I mean, he's a very good offensive coach. So I like this game over. Louisville, Georgia Tech. Louisville 8.5, 51.5. New coach in Brom. His kid, I think it's his brother or his son, is the offensive coordinator. They're going to light it up. Georgia Tech doesn't have much. I like Louisville minus 2.5. Stanford 9.5, 58.5 against Hawaii. Stanford sucks. Hawaii will have played Vanderbilt. So they'll have that first game under their credit. We'll see what happens there. I don't know. I don't like Stanford, really. New quarterback. Hawaii as a home dog could be good, getting 15.5. I don't know about the over. Stanford. They're both Z teams. They both don't have a defense. Stanford's got a new quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if Hawaii hung in there against Stanford. East Carolina, Michigan. East Carolina is an over team. Michigan with a strong defense. They have no quarterback. They'll run the ball. Minus 35.5 is a big number, but this is the type of game that Michigan does well in. The big home favorite, not against Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State, but against the East Carolinas and Hawaii. They should put up a big number. I think the running back's back, Blake, whatever. So Michigan, 35.5 is a big number for them here. They just run and play defense. The question is, will East Car be able to score on them? Probably an under, because Michigan, well, it's a hard one because Michigan could score in the 30s, and then what will East Car do? Over under 53, you go 47, you go under 59. It's what will East Carolina be able to do? I think they'll be able to score, but do they have a new – yeah, they got a new quarterback, so I'm not – I think this is more of an under. They'll put pressure on them. They won't score a lot. They'll go for it on fourth down. Michigan will run and eat the clock. So let's go under there. Bowling Green against Liberty. Liberty 11, 52.5. They got the new coach. Liberty. Hello. Where did I put Liberty? Liberty Bowling Green. They got the Coastal Carolina coach. And they got Tech's got the boys. I don't know. So their quarterback's back. Well, they got a new one. Bowling Green's a weak team. So Liberty, I'm looking at the over in this game because Liberty should score with the Coastal Carolina coach. Not sure why he left Coastal Carolina for Liberty, but should be an explosive offense like they were at Coastal Carolina. Fresno State, Purdue. I like Fresno State here. Purdue laying 6.5. New coach, new quarterback. They brought their Walters is a defensive coach for Purdue. Fresno State's lost Hayner, so they're not going to score as much. They both have new quarterbacks. So I like Fresno State in 12.5 here. We will see. As the Fed lady would say, well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to handicap the games for you. We'll see who wins. How'd you like that? How'd you like them apples, right? Oh, BC, Northern Illinois. Well, we'll see what happens. Unbelievable. Poor Andrew McGuire putting on such shit yesterday. BC 10, 53.5 against Northern Illinois. I like Northern Illinois in 16. They play good. BC doesn't have an offense. They're a Z team. I like Northern Illinois here. Utah State and Iowa. Well, there's no spread. There was a spread. It was 21. Legis. And then the Michigan quarterback is the Iowa quarterback. I got it under, but I don't have a line for some reason. This is weird. Colorado, TCU. TCU 20.5, 61.5. Love TCU here. They got Sonny Dykes, so it's going to be a strong offensive team. The defense, they should be fine, but not like Colorado's going to take advantage of it. Yeah, Prime did good at Jackson State. Now you're playing TCU. Big difference there. So I like TCU minus 20. I don't know what you're going to get from Colorado, the whole new team. It's a tough team for Colorado with a whole new talent. Everybody transferred out. So you're dealing with a lot of portal guys, a lot of Jacksonville State guys. Well, they're Division II. This is TCU. Good luck there. Tennessee, Virginia. Tennessee 27.5, 59. Milton, the quarterback, who quarterbacked the bowl game, and he did very well. Josh Heupel, very good offensive coach, just like the TCU coach. Look for Tennessee to be explosive here. Virginia doesn't score, so I almost like Tennessee minus 21. Virginia's just terrible offense. L-Tech, SMU. SMU 17, 66.5. L-Tech has the Boise quarterback who sucked last year. SMU will have a new quarterback. I think I got SMU over. What else is new? I got the game over. Stone, a new quarterback, Stone, and L-Tech's got the Boise quarterback. But I like this game over 58. Holy shit, it's 66? Wow. This line I have is 58. Yeah, that's the opening line. It's already up to 66. And L-Tech's got to play Florida International. This is confusing why I just jumped 8 points. We don't even know the quarterback yet. Wow. Akron and Temple. So I liked it over, but now I got to rethink it. At 58, I did. At 66, it's already up 8 points. This is why you foresee things. You look at what's going to happen and you bet it as soon as you can. And then it jumps to 66. This is what I'm doing with gold and silver. We buy it now because I know it's going to go up because of demand, like the Montana card. See how it all flows in? Sports, football, economics, gold, supply and demand. It all is, economics is in everything. Women, poker, and you have to understand the logic of economics, but you got to understand Austrian economics, where it's all individual choices, not Keynesian, where the government makes your choices for you. You make your choices, and that's what you have to have. You need the individual right. So again, if I see SMU should be over, I bet it as soon as I can. Like gold, I buy it as soon as I can at this price, and then I wait for it to jump. Akron and Temple, Temple 10.5, 55.5. Both teams suck. Both teams have returning quarterbacks. Akron's a Z team, Temple's a W. I wouldn't, we can find other games. I'll be curious the box score of the Robert Morris Air Force game. I want to see Air Force's quarterback. He graduated. I want to see how the new quarterback is. It's a complex offense to run, but if they can find a good quarterback, they got a great team, Air Force. So I saw somebody in the pool with an Air Force bag, and I said, I made a lot of money. It's funny how football and gambling, you can make friends real easy. You see somebody, I saw somebody with Air Force bag, and I love Air Force. Or I saw somebody with, Texas Tech, or you see the thing, and it's weird in Michigan to see that, and then you can comment on it. Oh, I made a lot of money betting on you, and they all smile. They know what I'm talking about. They can smell what I'm cooking, right, Poppy? Ohio State 27.5, 61.5. Love Ohio State here. They are going to be pissed. They're going to be explosive. I don't know about their defense. Indiana sucks. No offense. Ohio State should shut them out. And after the Notre Dame fiasco last year, look for them to start off strong because they lost to Michigan twice in a row. And they're not going to lose. They got to play intense this year. Buffalo, Wisconsin. Wisconsin 24, 53.5. Wisconsin is now Luke Fickell, the Cincinnati coach, so he's more defensive. But they brought in Mordecai, was from Oklahoma, went to SMU, is now Wisconsin's quarterback. They got a great quarterback. They should light it up, be a little bit more offense, a little more passing, and their defense will just shut them down. So I look for Wisconsin here. Also, where I thought about under, I'm thinking over, because Buffalo can score. They won't score a lot against Wisconsin, but Wisconsin will light it up. So maybe Buffalo will light it up too. Boise and Washington. Washington 16, 59.5. Penix. They're a very good team. Washington, very explosive. Boise's a pretty good team. Good defensive team, but we'll see if they can stop Washington. I like Washington -10, I think. UMass and Auburn. Auburn laying 37.5, 52. They suck. UMass is the worst team. It's too big of a number to take. Auburn, maybe go over. Maybe they score a lot. I don't know. It's a tough game, but you can't take UMass ever. South Florida, Western Kentucky, 13.5, 6, 7.5. South Florida's pretty good offensive team, a weak defense. Western Kentucky had a good offense and a good defense. I like Western Kentucky here laying the 7.5. Rice in Texas. Texas owns them, laying 35, 59.5. We like Texas here, minus 29. Me and myself like them. Notre Dame's playing Tens. I wonder who Tens is. Tennessee State, maybe. Cal in North Texas. Cal 9.5, 58.5 against North Texas. Off to the notes. California. Cal's a W team, no defense. North Texas is an over team. Both have new quarterbacks. Morris, the new coach in North Texas, and they're going to run. He was a Leach assistant, so look for North Texas to be explosive. So I think North Texas in 15.5 against a weak defense, and Cal is a very, very good bet. Go North Texas, beat Navy. USC game 2, 37.5, 63.5. Only here, Nevada has no defense. Look for USC to cover this by half, putting up a 60 in this game. Laying 37.5 down to 31, I think, is the way to go. Nevada probably won't score too much. See, Nevada won't score enough to get you the over. It's up to USC, but if they're going to get you the 63 over, then just lay the 31.5 in the teaser. Texas State, Baylor, 26.5, 55.5. We know Baylor's strong. What is North Texas? Or Texas State is an under team, so they don't score a lot. Their defense is average. Baylor big in this one. Washington State, Colorado State. We've got Colorado State's a Z team, Washington State. So let's lay, it's down to 14.5. Let's lay the 8.5 with Washington State. Also an under 62.5 in this game. New Mexico and A&M. A&M 39.5, 48.5. They're switching offensive coordinators. They're bringing in Bobby Petrino, used to be the coach at Louisville. Very good offensive mind. He's the offensive coordinator. Jumbo Fisher didn't know what the fuck he was doing. They had no offense, good defense. New Mexico, great defense. I'm going under 54.5 here is the play. I can't lay 39 with A&M. Even if they have the new offensive coordinator, who's usually pretty good, does he have the players to really do that? I mean, you're a good offensive coordinator because you had a good quarterback and a good coach and good receivers, but are you a good quarterback, Charlie Weiss? Are you a good offensive coordinator, or was it Tom Brady? And that's what you don't know with Petrino. UTSA and Houston, a game I don't see a line on. Some strange, they've taken some line off. UTSA, Houston was 2.5, 65. I love UTSA. Frank Harris is back. Look for UTSA to win this game straight out. Army, UL Monroe. Army, we know, is very well coached. Good team. 7.5, 47. Take Army minus 1.5. That's a joke. UL Monroe sucks. South Carolina, North Carolina. We got North Carolina 1.5, 62.5. I like South Carolina as the dog here, getting 7.5. They do have our favorite quarterback, whatchamacallit, Rattler, used to be at Oklahoma. North Carolina's got May. Should be fairly high scoring game, but I like the dog. I think South Carolina is the better, and they're getting points. Toledo and the Illini 10.5, 49.5. Go under with Illinois. Great defense, no quarterback. Toledo, they score. I don't think they're going to score a whole lot on this Illinois defense, and Illinois is going to run the ball down their throat. So look for this to be like an Army game. We're going to run a lot and play defense. Texas Tech, Wyoming. Texas Tech 14, 54.5. Pretty explosive. Wyoming, not much offense. a good defense, but I don't know if they're going to have a good defense against the Texas Tech, maybe against Nevada, and in conference. I like Tech minus the 8 here. Middle Tennessee against Alabama. Middle Tennessee. Well, we only wish that this was the real line. Middle Tennessee minus 38. Yeah. Can I make a bet on Alabama getting 38 here? I did that once. The Saints were really good. This was early 80s. And they were playing somebody, and the line was 2. And the bookie misread the line, and he said 12. I put $500, and I'm betting $1,500 a game back in the early 80s. I'm betting 50, 100. I bet 500 on New Orleans and 12 because the spread should have been 2. New Orleans ends up winning the game. I think they're playing the Rams or something. This is when they had Pat Swilling and Bobby Herbert and all that, and that was an easy win. But I had like a double teaser on it because they're supposed to be getting 2.5. I had 12.5. I had a free 10-point teaser on it, so I hammered it pretty good, 500. So let's say Alabama's laying the 38. I still don't trust Alabama. The new quarterback's not very good. 55.5, probably an under game. I think. I don't know. I think Alabama won't score a lot, and then they'll play tough defense. Penn State, West Virginia. Penn State 19.5, 54.5. West Virginia is pretty good. I like West Virginia getting 25.5. I think they're pretty good this year. Let's see. They're an over team. Penn State's an A team. Both have new quarterbacks, so I like the points in this game. West Virginia has pretty good talent. They're in the Big 12. Penn State's not really this super offensive team, and they lost a lot of defense. So new quarterback. This should be a close game. Tulane 54.5 over South Alabama. I like the dog in this game. I like the over too. I think over 48.5 is good. Tulane can score. Their quarterback's back. South Alabama is a very strong team. They went to UCLA 32-31. UCLA kicked a field goal at the end to win. I like the dog here, and I like the over here. VTech and Old D. VTech 12.5, 48.5. Old D sucks. VTech has no offense. I like under 54.5 in this game. UCLA and Coastal Carolina. I love the over. You've got UCLA, okay, new quarterback, but we know the coach is offensive-minded, and Coastal Carolina has Grayson McCall back. Look for them to put up points. UCLA won't be able to handle McCall, a very good quarterback. UCLA will have a good quarterback. Well, they got a good freshman, and they got the guy from Kent State. So they shouldn't miss a beat. They'll put up their 35. They'll give up their 35. Over under 59.5. 65.5 down to 59.5 is the play here. Two explosive teams. Northwestern, Rutgers. We've got Rutgers 4.5, 42.5. Down from 47. So somebody heard me say I like him under. No offense in the game. I still like the under, but I would get it into, if it goes into the 30s, I can't play it. But 42, 48.5. I probably like Northwestern, and I probably like the under. I like the under more because there's no offense on the field. Oregon State, San Jose State. Oregon State 16, 53.5. I like the game under. San Jose State plays USC. They have a good quarterback, no defense. But I can't bet Uglia Buglia for Oregon State. He's terrible. He sucked at Clemson. He ain't going to do any better at Oregon State. They got the strong defense. San Jose State doesn't have much. Oregon State maybe minus 10, but I don't trust Uglia Buglia. Too many interceptions, too many missed passes. Maybe he'll run more. I don't know. Maybe late 10. Oregon State's a team you play under, strong defense. So let's see. But San Jose State's this This isn't an under game because San Jose State has a good quarterback and no defense. So, but it's hard to bet over with Oregon State. So this is really maybe Oregon State laying 10. LSU minus 2.5, 57.5. Against Florida State, Bobby. I got to take the dog. I got to take Florida State in 8.5. You got two A teams playing, which means you really want to go under in the game, but they're both pretty explosive. So two good quarterbacks. I'll take the points. I'll take the 8.5 with Florida State. And then the last game is Clemson-Duke. Clemson 11.5, 56. It was 12-56. No big deal. I like Duke. I love their quarterback. Very good. He's like Jefferson at Arkansas. Good. He can scramble and run, but he's also a very good passer, unlike Lamar. 56 probably goes over, but Clemson has a good defense, or did. I don't know. So Clemson's in transition. Their defensive coach went. Maybe he was the real reason they were so good. I don't know. I'm not surprised with Duke keeping this game close. We will see. But we got to see what Clemson looks like and Duke looks like. My judge is Duke will be able to score on them sometimes. Then the defense will hold up when they need to. Duke doesn't have much of a defense. Clemson, we got to see who their new quarterback is. After Uglia Buglia, then the guy was supposed to be good, who was the backup. He sucked in the bowl game. So, again, you're looking at they're going to run with their running back, who I can't think of his name, and their defense, who we'll see how good it is. And then Duke, hard to defend this quarterback because he can run and throw really good. So we will see. But I think Duke can hang in there. 17.5 is a big number. So that be college football. That be eBay. Gold, silver. Expected. The key to gold and silver is the demand. The Montana card's 99,000 because of the demand, and there's not a lot of PSA 10s. And gold and silver, there's very limited supply, and the demand is not only are central banks buying it. Now, a lot of the demand right now is the $2,000 price tag. The price isn't going up with the demand. If you notice, the Montana card's 99,000. So the price has gone up with the demand, and that's what's supposed to be happening in gold and silver. And again, how long will they allow COMEX to do it? COMEX is basically the mafia, JP Morgan, probably the head of the five families. I think he's Barzini. So how long will they be able to keep that up? And now you got the head of the China mafia head and Putin, the head of the Russian mafia, are like, you must let us draw the water from the well. So you must let the gold go up because we have all this gold that we need to go up because we're going broke with our communist economy that doesn't work because we're not allowing the free market and Say's law to work. So they're both going broke and they're sitting on all this gold. So I can only imagine that the gold finally goes up. That's my interpretation. Knowing the demand's far more than the 2,000. So it's hard because you buy it and you're waiting and you want this instantaneous result. But like I said, the guy I'm at the grocery store and I'm talking to the guy because we're in line. He says, I own Amazon stock, and all it does, it's going to go up. And then I looked and it went down 10 points. And I looked at him like I thought it was just supposed to go up. Stocks are fixed, okay, just like gold is, and just like most things. You don't want your money in the bank because either you're not going to get it out, like in Australia, they wouldn't let you get the money out. But if the money's still in your account, you can use your debit card. You can ATM it if you need it, but there's only a few things you really need money. Poker, maybe a few things where they like cabs where they might only, like in Portugal, they only took cash. They did not take credit card or debit cards. So you got to be a little careful there. But generally, you can use your debit card. So if you do have money stuck, you can use, like, if I have money in my 401k that I want to move and bring it home, right? And just put it in my safe. And what'll happen is if it gets stuck where the bank won't allow me to get it, but right now they still will, but I can see PCBs or PNCs closing up here, Australia, Canada, closed some bank accounts. So it's happening. It's not happening here yet, but that doesn't mean anything. It's just showing you what's coming. So be very careful about that. Not only if you leave your money in the bank, can you get it out? It's being inflated. So you're better off in the Montana card at 99 grand, but you're even better off in gold at 2,000 because gold hasn't gone up yet. It will, and it's going to. There's no way with that demand you're going to stop it. The demand's never been this strong to blow up COMEX before. So COMEX can play the game and they can put the price down to kill the demand, but they can't do it anymore because now central banks and with all the inflation in the U.S. and this woman's thought it's at 2% out of her fucking mind. This is the problem with the Fed. They don't have a fucking clue what they're doing. And you cannot look at prices and figure out inflation. It's impossible. The only thing you can do is interest rates because that's the real, I'm lending you money. And with inflation, this is the interest rate I need to charge to get my money back. So that's the really only place you can tell what inflation, because measuring inflation, you can't do it by prices. Again, it's the market. So I ate my nectarine, but it was $4.99 and now it's 99 cents. Is that deflation? Was it inflation that raised it? They tried, but if nobody buys it, that's my point. So they raise the prices. People say, fuck you. Then it goes down. One thing that the Fed was talking about was Tyson. She talks to Tyson and Tyson says, I've never seen no demand for meat, chicken, and pork. Well, you know what about Tyson? They're very expensive. They tried to take advantage of the inflation, but the competition didn't join. So I buy Purdue or I buy whatever, and it's much cheaper. I don't care. Chicken's pretty much, well, I'm hoping that it's not all hormone and I'm going to grow a second head, but basically, so Tyson decides to make chicken $10 a pound. Everybody else is at $2. Guess what? You lose. So she's listening to Tyson, but she's not looking at the market. All I know is I go buy chicken and steaks and ribs and everything else. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. They're still very affordable, and there's people at the counters. So in the actual store, people are buying the meat and people are buying the chicken and people are buying the pork and people are buying the ribs. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. So anyway, this is the problem. She's looking at one area, one cousin, Tyson, as Tyson was very expensive. So people aren't, chicken's chicken as far as we know. So therefore, we're not going to buy Tyson because he's too expensive. So what Tyson's going to do is I'll have to lower prices to market. It all comes back to market. Now, if you lay off everybody, this might be the deflation, or what they're worried about is the recession, not the deflation. So if nobody's working, they can't afford anything, then the market will go down and then they can't buy the chicken there. That's the depression. That's not deflation. The prices went down. Well, the market went down. It's not prices. There's no such thing as deflation per se of what they're saying. It's just the market. People don't understand the market, so they can't explain it. So they come up with these deflation terms, where she came up with a new word for inflation. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So again, you have people that don't know what they're talking about. And it really frustrates me. I was talking to my buddy on WhatsApp yesterday at about 11:30, and I said I get so frustrated because I know what's going on, and you get all these people on these YouTube who don't even know what COMEX is. They don't know the real price of gold. They don't know what a market is. They don't know Say's law. They don't know Adam Smith is the creator of economics, of Austrian economics. They want to say von Mises. No, it's Adam Smith. It's Say's law. That's the critical point of Austrian economics. They don't know what Austrian economics really is, and it's really a shame. So that's what you have. Anyway, so I'm not going to go. I'm going to go next week to the coin store and get a couple more ounces of gold and some more silver. But I think right now, I got to wait. I get a check Monday. I get a check Thursday, and Jenna's going to Berlin and to meet the Euro Trip gang. They went to Berlin. I keep watching that movie. I keep laughing my ass off. But Scotty's in Berlin looking for the girlfriend, so I think she's going to go meet Scotty and the kids. Anyway, we will see what happens. So I need some money for that, like I said. But Monday I get, so I might go Monday to the gold store. The price ain't going anywhere. So if we look at the price, I mean, it's really stupid to look at it. There's no sense. Silver 2309, gold 1925. Again, that's like putting the Montana card at $5,000, saying this is the real price. The difference is we know the Montana is a $100,000 card. We haven't been privy to the real price of gold. So we're at the COMEX fake price of this 1925. This is not the supply demand price. This is not the real price. This is not the physical price. The Montana card is 99,000, and this is what I keep trying to explain. That's the real value of the Montana card. This is not the real value. This is like putting the Montana card at $2,000. And you're like, no, it's 99,000, but you have real free market 99,000. We don't know what the real free market physical gold price is. We've never been introduced to it. Because these governments try to fuck us with this fiat currency, they never want gold to be competition, so they keep the price down. Because if everybody buys gold, we don't need the government. I don't need your money. And that's what they try to control you, is with the money. Oh, you owe taxes. If I have gold, you don't know what I made. You can't tax me, right? If I'm living off of gold, we got $1 million worth of gold. How do you tax me? No W-2s, no tax coming out. You don't even know I have it. That's why. I just thought of that. Pretty clever. So you can't tax me because you can only tax this because I get paid in this. Oh, you made $75,000. We're going to tax you. That's the Federal Reserve. That's what they need to blow up. Because it's in dollars, they can't let the system slip to gold because it'll fuck the whole system up. Even when we were on the gold standard, it was still dollars backed by gold. Therefore, you would work and you would get taxed, but it was still dollars. But they're too corrupt to put it back because they can't print. JP Morgan can't print $1 billion, put it in his bank account. That's why these stocks are up. They're printing the money, putting them into these stocks. Stocks go up, they sell it. Problem is, they're still in dollars, which are worthless. So they don't get, if I keep printing, it eventually goes to zero because then I make too many of them. So what we're hoping for is gold goes up so we can finally, get the 99,000 that the Montana has. We know that's the value of gold, but we can't get there because they're not allowing the free market to price gold. And that's why these idiots who think that gold's at the real price, This is why I just, as Bobby would say, shake my head. I can't do it. All right, so that's about it. 2:00. I really need to get my hair cut. I'm gonna stop at a new place and see. So the other place raised it to $25, but they didn't tell me. So I go to Coney Island yesterday to get a burger, and then there's a haircut place right next to it. And I go, "How much is it?" She says 20. That's the point, right? They raised it to 25 because she says all the others are, and here's the competition at 20. They're just regular people that cut hair. It's not like, these high, I'm getting it done by professional, like I'm a movie star. So anyway, that's what's happening there. So I can get my haircut, go swimming, get my Chinese. I'll be a happy boy. So we'll see. If there's a line to get the haircut, I won't stay. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. If there's no, or I'll go Monday, I don't care. And then if there's no line, I'll get it cut. And then off to the pool and off to the Chinese. And, I need to go shopping. I got to go to the mall. I want to get socks and a belt. I keep wearing this belt. I lost all this weight. I got this belt, and it just, when I wear my pants, it's just I can't wear it. It's too tight. So I need a bigger size for some reason, but we'll see. Anyway, have a good day. Hope you enjoyed the class, www.teaserking.com. And off we go. So that's it. So enjoy your day. And I will be tomorrow, same time. Bobby, where'd you go? I'll try to reach out to them and get on. I don't know how to get a hold of Andrew McGuire, but I will look for a website or a phone number. Probably. I called the other place, Liberty, and they never responded. So I keep leaving dirty marks on their comments. You motherfuckers don't know what you're doing. All right, you take care. Have a good day. www.teaserking.com. I'm loading up the passwords probably tonight or tomorrow for football. Like I said, one guy's bought the year. He's going to make some payments for me, but I got to give him the password, but he's not going to pay till next week. So we will go from there. But the prices are pretty much not really changing the prices. The full year I did change, but you can buy the pro and the college full year. It's $600, and then everything is $750. And I think it was $1,100 or $1,200. The $750 is a very good price for the full year, all the pro and college. So I think that's a real good price. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Enjoy. www.teaserking.com. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned.